G'day YouTube, Warbles Online here. Looking at the Glen main street, that's the courthouse. The post office. Great Central Hotel. Would you believe that for the past 30 years the town's tourist committee has been spending money on maintaining the heritage look of the Glen main street, in the hope that past residents will come here and spend their holidays here getting off on a nostalgia kick. It's been a pretty good strategy. It's worked for a long while. Lots of businesses have got into the swing of things, decorating in heritage colours, restoring the old facades. It's been a good coherent theme for the town. However, we have a general manager named Basson. Yet another expatriate white South African. A relic of Johnny Howard's importation of an entire new ruling class for the country. And Basson convinced council that they had no other option but to hire a consultant architect who recently, his previous project was to redesign the town centre of Port Macquarie. The architect lives at Port Macquarie, and therefore, regardless of what anybody who lives in town thought about it, we've been suffering the erection of an orienteering course in the main street. These hand-mixed concrete slabs have been cut, sliced, diced, chopped into and replaced so that the new marvellous lighting and drainage system could be installed. And as a result, the Glen main street has resembled nothing so much as a variable orienteering course. Nobody ever knows on any particular day where they're going to be allowed to drive or park in the main street orienteering course. The entire project hinges around a geometrically impossible attempt to fashion a town square out of two narrow parallel lines. Apparently the purpose of the town square will be for Heinrich to stand at the balcony and read his proclamations of the day, telling the serfs and peasants what they're supposed to do. Marvellous, isn't it? Recently the ABC radio was talking about the worst main street in Australia. I think you'll find, according to the signs of the times, the let's get it done sale, let's give all the workers all the support they need to get the job done as fast as they can. 5% off all magazines, 10% off all stationery, 20% off all cards and wrap. They've toned down their sign. Last time I was in town they were talking about how the Roadworks were sending them broke. Now there was a theory and a plan that the historic concrete slabs put there by the mayor of the town in the 1920s, Alderman Ward, were to be retained. But obviously not here in the middle of the town square. Smile, you're on YouTube. In case anybody thinks I'm just one lone voice pissing into the wind, this movie is being made at the request of at least 3 business owners in the main street, all of whom are finding a terrible downturn. And is it any wonder? They just finished getting over the disruption to trade and business while we had cement pave stones placed on the footpaths. I said, my nomination for the worst main street in Australia. And apparently, the idea behind it is to make Glen look more like Port Macquarie, because Port Macquarie has a thriving tourist industry and Glen is tailing off. So if Glen can look like Port Macquarie, people might come here for their holidays and forget the fact that we don't have a beach. And of course the entire heritage, nostalgia-based tourism campaign, that's been pissed out the window. We're not into heritage anymore. We're into copycatism. We're into trying to look like Port Macquarie. And somehow, regardless of Heinrich Basson and his plans to stand on the balcony and address the peasants and the multitudes of serf standing in the town square and tell us how to live our day, I don't know whether it's going to work. In fact, I'm told by the people who are in the main street, it's going to be a near-run thing as to whether there will be any businesses still trading in the main street once the new Central Business District Beautification Plan has been completed. There we go. Don't say I don't keep you up to date with all the news that's fit to put on the tubes. As I said, don't bother coming to Glen unless you're expecting to see the sights of Port Macquarie on the mountain. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao!